guys, it's Amanda. I just wanted to check in because a lot of my current challengers who are in my boot camp have been asking about this, and I thought it was super applicable to all of you guys too. So I wanted to share it here, and hopefully it'll help you guys in your healthy eating journeys in life. Something that I used to really have an issue with was eating out. I was so conscious about what I was buying at the grocery store and felt like I could tackle that from a healthy eating standpoint. But when it came to going to restaurants or going to parties that my friends were hosting or whatever, I felt lost and super confused as to how to stay on track and make sure I was continuing to put healthy foods in my body. So I want to share with you my top 3 tips for how to best arm yourself with the kind of tools so that you can stay on track when you're going out to eat. So number 1, check online before you go to a restaurant. If you know where you're going, usually you can find like menus online and sort of see what they have, what their options are. So that way you're not going in blind. You've seen what the options are on the menu, and you can make a decision before you even get to the restaurant on what you're going to have. Sure, it kind of takes the spontaneity out of like, what am I gonna have tonight? What am I gonna eat? But instead, it makes sure that you're making the choice before. You're like, I'm gonna make a healthy choice. I'm gonna order this. Instead of getting really wrapped up in the moment, when you're there, you're all excited, and you're like, you might make a less healthy option choice, right? So always be prepared and know where if you know where you're going, look it up online, and that way you can kind of get a better idea and make a decision before you get there. Number 2, usually restaurants can be super, understandable about your dietary needs or choices, and have options for, healthier picks, okay? So look for things that say baked or broiled. Don't go for like the fried or breaded options when it comes to like your meats, your fish, etc. And always, if you can, sub for like a side veggie or a side salad. Always do that instead of, what usually comes with your side, which is like potatoes and stuff. Potatoes are good, but only in moderation, right? So we want to make sure we're sticking as healthy and as in line with our particular needs as we can. Another thing that I really love to do when it comes to that too is sometimes there's nothing on the menu that I feel like is really in line with the program I'm doing or what I want to be eating for that day. And a lot of the times they'll have, really heavy sauced things, and I'll just ask them to broil the chicken or broil the fish instead and just add some lemon on top. Or if it is sauced, I'll ask them to put the sauce on the side so that I can add it on my own terms. So that's my number 3 tip. Is a lot of the times when you get a salad, it comes pre-dressed, or when you get a really, intensely sauced dish, it also comes pre-sauced, right? So ask the waiter if you can just have the sauce on the side or the dressing on the side. They're always super understandable. I've never had an issue with that. And that way you get to be in control of how much you put on your dish, right? I always find that most of the time when I go to a restaurant and I order a salad, things are super overdressed, and I don't really like it heavily dressed anyways. It's just not my personal preference. And it's also, the dressing is usually filled with yucky stuff that you don't want to be putting in your body. So I usually tend to go for like an oil vinaigrette, and just like have it on the side so I can dress it myself. So those are my 3 tips for going out to a restaurant. Also, side note on going out, if you get the chance to choose where you're going on date night, or a friend's like, hey, you pick where you want to go. Try and pick places where you're going to be able to have healthy options. Most places have those things anyways, but my favorite go-tos, I love Thai restaurants because normally you can get brown rice instead of white rice, which is just a better complex carb for your body and it fuels you better. And their curry options are always filled with veggies and really lean meats. And their curry, it's coconut milk. It's so good for you. It's a healthy fat. Other thing I love Japanese food. I love sushi. And so if I want to go on date night with my husband and I'm like, let's go have sushi, I save up my carbs for that night and we get sushi rolls, right? They're super really yummy. They're good for you. They all have like incredibly rich fatty like tuna and gosh, what are the other things that they have? Oh yeah, salmon, all sorts of fish that is so good for you and have those amino-3 acids. And then also, you know, avocado and cucumbers and all the things that are amazing that come in your rolls. So yeah, so I just save up my carbs for that. And I really think about the rest of my meals in juxtaposition to my date night. Last and final tip, sidebar, if you're not going to a restaurant, but you are going to say a potluck or a barbecue, we're coming up to summer season now, that those are gonna become really big. My favorite thing to do is to bring a healthy dish, right? People are always so thankful when you come with something in your hands instead of just by yourself. It's a kind thing to do. It's a really nice gesture. And it also means that you're setting yourself up for success and putting yourself in control, right? You are gonna bring a dish that you know you can eat and you know will keep you full and will make you feel good, instead of showing up empty-handed and feeling like you have to eat the options that are, because you're starving, right? I know that's happened to me a million times when I'm not thinking and not coming prepared. And that way, you know, if there are healthy eats and options for you to have there, you can also, you know, share and partake in those. But that way you're not going in completely screwed if there's nothing there for you. So those are my tips. I hope that is helpful. I hope that you are gearing yourself up for a fun weekend. You know, healthy eating doesn't have to be like so incredibly structured and like staying in all the time. I go out all the time with friends. I go out on date night weekly and I still make healthy choices that are delicious. It is possible. It is doable. Just arm yourself for success and you will feel so much more in control. Okay. I am so excited to have a great kick-ass weekend in Chicago. It's gonna be warm and beautiful and I cannot wait. And I hope that wherever you are, it is warm too. So on that note, I will let you guys go and I hope you have a great